Hey, Lauren Hughes here with Keller Williams Preferred Integrity Home Group. We're going to continue our conversation on red flags that you might run into when you're working with a realtor or when you're deciding to hire one. And we're on part 2 now. So right now we're going to talk about a few red flags that I've seen, and these are my personal stories of when I've tried to hire real estate agents. I am a licensed broker in Colorado. However, I still do business in Georgia and the Caribbean, and so I'm constantly working with realtors on the buyer or seller side as well. And a few things that I've run into, or one of the biggest things, is local knowledge. And now I know when you hire a real estate agent, we don't really have like zones, or we can't specify where we work, but I like to make sure that my real estate agent knows the lay of the land, and they didn't just find me based off Google search, or they live 30 miles away or 45 minutes away. Sometimes it's okay, but I really want to hire someone with local knowledge. And so I'm really specific with who I want to hire. I want to know where they live, how long they live there, and just kind of their know-how in the area. And what I've run into actually when I was purchasing a home in Atlanta, Georgia, and to keep it a long story short, there are some good areas of Atlanta and there are some bad areas of Atlanta. She kept showing us homes that, unless you were with security or armed yourself, you needed to not be there. And if it got dark out, you better just pray. And so we ended up having to let that realtor go, because there's a lack of local knowledge, and we even pushed back on some of the areas, and they were notorious areas to not be in, and we had to keep talking to her about, hey, we would like to be safe in our home. And we ended up having to let that realtor go, just because she seemed to have no knowledge of the area and wouldn't accept kind of our request to not be in those areas, and that's okay. And I would throw a local example with that is, if you're in Denver or if you're considering buying in Commerce City, I think it's important on where you pick in Commerce City. Commerce City is beautiful, but you have to be cognizant of the wind changes, because you don't want to be downwind from all of the factories, because it smells. And so, you want to know the lay of the land. And I know everyone in Colorado knows when a snowstorm's coming, because we can smell Greeley, right? So we can't get around it all the time, but we don't want some areas of Commerce City can really smell bad, and not all of it. You just have to be or you need a realtor that knows the area, that knows, okay, you probably shouldn't be downwind of this plant in particular. Let's just steer, let's go west just a little bit, or a little bit more northeast, and just get out of the kind of the wind zone, if that makes sense. So local knowledge is incredibly important, and it's not only for local know-how. You want to make sure areas are safe, and they might look really nice in the daytime, and then at night you're just like, what happened? Like, we're in a good area, and yet there's a lot of crime. And so you want a realtor that, if in case they don't know, they can show you where to look. And I like looking and talking to police officers. I actually will go down to the local precinct and I'll ask them. I'll get the basic crime statistics, but I'll also just ask them as like human to human. It's like, would you want your kids living here? Would you feel comfortable living here if you lived alone? Just random questions like that, and you'd be surprised at how much information you can get just from asking random questions. So local knowledge is incredibly important, and then their ability to adapt based on that local knowledge. So thank you guys. And if if a realtor cannot give me the local information I need for the area that I'm looking for, then it's probably not a good fit, and I need to find someone that is more comfortable in the location. So thank you guys for tuning in. Talk to you later.